Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast. It is a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. I'd like to extend my gratitude in you listening to this podcast. It means everything to me, and I hope it is clear that this subject matter is so important to me. I care about our people, our future, and making a positive change in this nation.
This episode is powered by Poddex.
Do you find it difficult to come up with content ideas for your podcast? Or perhaps you've gotten stuck during an interview with a guest where you just have nothing more to ask? Try Poddex today. Poddex is the best all-in-one podcast idea generation tool. You get everything from episode ideas to interesting conversation starters for interviews, engaging discussions for your live streams, and even social media content ideas. With this tool, you don't have to spend weeks trying to come up with content for an episode or unique questions for your guests. Just shuffle the cards, pick one at random, hit the record button, and get started. Now you can make better content, have more fun while you're at it, and get your viral moment. All with Poddex. Head over to poddex.com and use code C4C. Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast. And this episode is especially for the content creators of color collective. Welcome. On this episode, I wanted to get into a story about a Columbia University Department Chair, Jeffrey Lieberman, who made a very offensive tweet toward a Ethiopian-born model who is of South Sudanese descent. Her name is Nyakima Gatwech. Okay, so here's what occurred according to NBC News. Jeffrey Lieberman, who is the psychiatry department chair at Columbia, shared an image of Nyakima and wrote that whether a work of art or freak of nature, she's a beautiful sight to behold. And so, he tweets this photograph of her, and then those are the words, obviously referring to her as a freak of nature is terribly offensive. If he thought she was beautiful, why couldn't he just leave it at that? A work of art, she's beautiful. But to throw in she's a freak of nature, or the possibility of being a freak of nature, how offensive and embarrassing is that? She responded to the comments on Twitter. Straight up racism is what she stated. She went on to say, coming from someone with so much power, that was so disappointing. Since the tweet, Lieberman has been removed as psychiatrist in chief at Columbia University, Irvine Medical Center, New York Presbyterian Hospital, in addition to his suspension as the psychiatry department chair. He also claimed in his tweet that Gatwech set a Guinness Book record for having the darkest skin ever seen on Earth. And Gatwech addressed this information on Instagram as being false, stating that she can't imagine it's even possible to know who is the lightest or darkest person on the planet. She had another really good quote on her Instagram that stated, I have worked really hard to build my page and use it as a platform to promote self-acceptance, body positivity, and of course my brand partnerships. And it's about self-love above anything else. I don't buy followers, and to those who believe otherwise, I do not need to manufacture lies for likes. It's not my style. I love my dark skin and my nickname Queen of Dark, but I've never said I'm the darkest person on earth. Lieberman has since apologized for the tweet, which he even called both racist and sexist, and he is deeply ashamed. In his apology, it says, an apology from me to the Black community, to women, and to all of you is not enough. I've hurt many, and I am beginning to understand the work ahead to make needed personal changes and over time regain your trust. And so it's just interesting, and it just leads to a greater conversation about colorism and why people who have deeper hues of color, if you will, have these, feelings, negative feelings internally, because you hear people say things like that. And I was looking at some commentary about these comments, and it was saying that, this is coming from a white man, but it's some Black people that would say the same thing. And sadly, that's true. We come in all shades and we're all beautiful, but everybody doesn't see it that way. And it's taken a long time for it to really become popular and cool for Blackness and just being comfortable in your own skin to be accepted popularly. And so, these are the types of things to really break down someone's self-esteem. And it's just disheartening that someone who is so esteemed as a professor and, PhD, professor and probably an author and things of that nature would have that type of opinion, and that would share that type of opinion on a public platform, as though that would be a good idea to share that type of opinion in such a public platform. But these are the types of things that people think privately, they end up sharing them publicly. You know what I mean? What's done in the dark comes to light. But, I'm, concerned about, the Black people that feel that way too. We need to do better about that type of thing. So that's a concern. But I'm glad that she addressed and spoke out against his comments and told him, this is racist. And he, admitted that it was racist and sexist as well, because, if you go back in history, that's what they thought of Black women, that we were a freak of nature, that we were exotic and there to be, some sort of sexual amusement for the white man. And so to see, even using those words, a work of art or freak of nature, is just as though she's an exhibit. Really, it's kind of objectifying her either way you slice it. So I just thought that was interesting. The story is kind of circulating around, and wanted to share those thoughts about the colorism conversation. And how, these kind of things can really tear down someone's self-esteem. I've heard this model mention that in the past, she didn't always have that pride of her dark skin in the past, that she wanted to bleach her skin and didn't feel so proud. And, many Black women share that same thought and worry, seeing how fair-skinned people are treated and not being proud of their dark skin. So we should, be proud. And I'm glad that she is, representing in this way. And it's beautiful that she's doing that, and it's dope. So we, definitely want to support her and what she's doing, and call out this type of behavior when it is exhibited. Call them out. Definitely. That's how you get change, is to tear down these false narratives and recreate the right narratives. Change the narrative. At this time, we're going to go ahead and conclude the episode. We greatly appreciate you listening. We invite you to follow us on social media. On Instagram, it is Woke by Accident Podcast. On Twitter, it is Woke by. On Facebook, it is Woke by Accident Podcast. We also have the new website up, www.wokebyaccident.net. Please check us out, and also follow us on all of your favorite streaming platforms, and please leave a review and share feedback. You can also reach out by Gmail, wokebyaccident@gmail.com. And every time you listen, we appreciate it so much. Thank you for listening and take care.